I'm sure you're wondering what it feels like pain level wise directly after surgery. So I was in the hospital for 6 days post surgery. The average is about 5 to 7, so I was there for the middle amount. And the first 24 hours, I actually felt pretty good because I had elected to get an epidural and these special pain blockers that they inserted along the incision site. And so that really helped block pain for the first 24 hours. And when they started wearing off, that's when I started feeling a bit more uncomfortable. At the beginning, the first few days were definitely the worst. And every single day that passed, you noticed feeling better and better and better. So, you'll be encouraged each day by how much more energy and how much, better you're feeling inside. But at the beginning, I definitely felt sore inside and delicate, and I didn't want to move around a lot. I didn't like sitting up straight, and I didn't like walking around. So, every day we put little tallies on the board of how many times my goal was to move around for the day, and marked off as I went just to kind of make sure that I was still moving around and staying active. Because I definitely preferred sitting at a 45-degree angle and not moving, because that made me feel the best. Um, when I took the painkillers, like immediately after taking the painkillers, I felt warm inside and pain free, and I felt very comfortable. So I felt good. And then after a few hours, those painkillers will wear away a little bit, and that's when you start feeling a bit more uncomfortable. I just look at the clock and I just think to myself, man, I really wish my next dose was coming a little bit sooner than what it's scheduled for. But you just wait and you get through it and you get your next dose and you feel good, and it lasts, for a certain amount of time, and then you'll notice when it starts wearing off. But it only took it was between a week and a half to 2 weeks before I was taking no painkillers at all. And so that I was off painkillers a lot sooner and faster than I expected I would be. So that's kind of how quickly I felt much, much better. The first 2 days I had a light fever, and so I really preferred my room to be quite warm. And also I had a light sensitivity, so I preferred the lights to be off and no TV. Didn't like looking at phones or computers. I liked it to be very dim. And then for the first few days, I did a lot of sleeping. So I might be awake and chat for a little bit or eat something and then just sleep for the rest of the time. I had a couple of visitors the first couple of days, and they stayed for about an hour each time, and I was really tired by the end of that hour. So when they left, then I would go to sleep. And so I would say like an hour or less is the right amount of time for any visitors for your first couple of days. I really tried to keep my torso straight as possible. So when I was getting up and out of bed, just keeping yourself straight and then pivoting and pivoting back to get back into bed. Having another person there to help kind of pull you up and lower you back is really helpful. And the first 3 or 4 days, because you're not moving around very much, you have air casts on the calves of your legs. So having another person there to take your air casts off when you're getting up and putting them back on when you get back into bed, and adjusting them when they're uncomfortable is really helpful. I definitely felt off, like my insides felt sore when I had a change in gravitational pull. So when I was going from maybe a 45-degree angle to sitting up, or when I was standing up. And so it took just like a minute or two for my body to adjust to that new orientation. So just keep it slow, like just pause and let your body adjust and then move on, and your body will just keep adjusting every time you're going into that new position. I definitely was walking pretty slow and hunched over at the beginning when I went for a little daily walk. But by the time I left the hospital on day 6, I was still walking pretty slow, but I was upright more. And then wearing a stomach binder I found to be helpful. It's a thick piece of elastic you can wrap around your middle. And it just helps you feel hugged and a little bit more protected, and like gives a little bit more structure around your middle when you're moving around. So that can be quite nice. Helps you keep from feeling quite as jostled. The one thing that I definitely want to bring up is because it was unexpected for me, but taking a shower in the hospital felt amazing. It really helped my scar feel like softer, like I was a little bit more flexible. I can move around a little bit easier, and it kind of eased the discomfort. It really made a big difference. And my first shower, I was really unsure how it was gonna go, but after that, then I was really looking forward to my shower time each day, and I really enjoyed it. So definitely don't say no to the showers, because I think that made a huge difference, and I really enjoyed them. So yeah, that is how it felt for the first few days post-surgery.